Well, hello all you legends, welcome back to Foundation. We are doing a good little bit of work here. We've managed to build ourselves the bailiff's office. We've established some sort of influence. I can't remember what that was. And we started a little farm in the forest. Now obviously it's patchy, but it is getting much better. And our population is growing and our income is growing, so things are going pretty good at the moment. Naturally I want more space. I don't really like all these houses being so cluttered. I mean, sure, for a city center or the main part of it, yes, of course, that makes sense. Cities are quite cluttered, so yeah, I would like to just expand it a bit more. Now, what we're going to need here is a bakery, considering we are now producing wheat, but we need the flour as well. So where are we going to have that is the question. I would say let's go ahead and place our first bakery right around about over there. I think that's a pretty decent spot for it. Once again, we're sticking to the blue rooftops. Is this the correct way around? I think so. It doesn't seem to have an oh, well, there's the entrance. Okay, cool. Now we just need to purchase ourselves some more tools, which I do believe is going to happen on the next round whenever we have ourselves some more little traders coming in, merchants. But for now, we've got ourselves a few little millers going. Alright, so here we want to add the flour. I'd say maybe double on the flour, and then the rest can be for bread. I'd say that looks about good for the amount that we want to chop down. We want to have another farm over here, maybe one or two. Something I would like to do is actually move on to this island as well, somewhere along the line, so we can have two bridges, one from this side to over here and another one from here to here. What do we need for that? I just have to pay for that. That's perfectly fine and not a problem. That is quite cheap actually. Now let's just place our first little bridge. It's probably going to be from around about over there to about there. That's 50 planks. It's not too bad. And then we'll have another bridge stretching from here to here. Now we can't build it yet because we don't have that territory, but we can have this one. What does this territory cost? I think it's just a normal amount as... well, we can't have that one. Kind of feels like a little bit of a wasting. Alright, in that case, that's a bit of a bummer. I thought we can go ahead and go build ourselves a little thing over there. I guess not. Alright, so let's just destroy that. Yeah, no problem. We're not going to be using that anytime soon. That's a bit of a waste, isn't it? Alright, not a problem. That leaves us with extra money to go ahead and open up this spot over here. What I would like to do now is send out our bailiff. Is it the bailiff? We just want to select the mandate over here. Let's see. So we're going to go do some prospecting in the very near future. But let's just see first. Welcome 5 commoners to your village. Yeah, we're not too concerned about that just yet. Quite happy about it just being a bunch of little peasants for now. Let's see. Alright, how about a tavern? I'd say one little tavern can always make anybody happy in these little towns. Let's see, so we'll just do a very basic tavern somewhere over here as soon as we have enough money. Let's see, so sure, but at the moment we're not really making enough money for that to really work out. Is it possible to add multiple tax offices? I don't know. Generates revenue by collecting taxes from your villages. Okay, yes. Maintenance cost, yes. Size, I guess that really doesn't matter. Not sure how that works. I mean, what we can do is first and foremost get the bakery up and running. Yes, we can do the bakery, which naturally means we can add some extra to the market. But what I would like to do is let's go ahead and use a tiny little spot over here for the tavern. So we're going to have a public lounge, a nice thatched cabin. Yeah, that's a good one. So I'll add the thatched cabin right over there. Have a little tavern in the woods. What can we add here? A thatched nook. Gonna be a little bit costly to get them up and running, but I mean, that's perfectly fine. Whoa, that's horrible. No. Why is it so tiny? Oh, okay, wait. Alright. Let's use the thatched hall. There you go. Well, I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. The way things work here on the Crunch Captain is that we sit back, relax, and enjoy all these little colonies, boulders, etc, etc. So, no rush, just chilling. And let's see, because I think if I add this, I could actually... That's the weird thing. Okay, there we go. That looks a bit better. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Alright, let's start off with that. Now, I do believe... I'm not exactly sure when we'll be able to use that to make the berry thing going that we need. What is it? Berries, berry brew. Okay, so we need to have the service counter and then sales tavern resources, talk to the villagers, public lounge, required to welcome patrons to the tavern, and then obviously we're just going to need a berry brewery. So how does that work? Add a sub building, berry brewery. I want it to be a big place though. Does it have to be attached to it? I suppose it does. Yeah, I guess we'll just add it back somewhere. And then we'll just have like a back entrance to it over there on the side. Something like so. Okay, so what is the situation? Why? What else does it need? Maybe a chimney? What does it need? Does it say? Yes, it appears to require a chimney. Makes sense. Alright, we'll add a little chimney. Apply. There you go, beautiful. That is exactly what I want. Alright, so what I was saying about the channel is that it's not necessarily a rush, it's all casual, just chilling, bowling and just enjoying the games in a very casual, relaxing, etc. way. This is nice. This is a lovely... Okay, so we need to start a mandate to improve the Northbury trade route, which is what I'm gonna do here. Select that. We need to improve Northbury trade route. We have enough breads for that. Now while we wait, because obviously we're still going to be baking more bread, so let's just see here, logistics, add another one of these little things. Guess we put it over here like so. Good stuff. That is going to be for bread. Now I know it's very disorganized, but I kind of like it. This little random market housing little thingies plotted all around the place. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. The meat is dropping extremely quickly. I wonder why. Do we require another butcher? I would say so. Oh dear, I put it the wrong way around. Hold on. There we go, just turn around. Not a big problem. Can add that one over there and assign a resource bread over there. The meaties is gone. Okay, so another butchery. We have a lot of boar. We just need another butchery then. Okay, cool. We can do that. Put a butchery. So just basically doubling up on the butchery. That is good stuff. Let's add that. And then we wait again. Alrighty, with the extra butchery now up and running, we should actually see a bit of a difference in the meat production, which is going to be great. Absolutely wonderful. Let's see. So the farms are looking good. We got a little extra spot over here for housing. We'll be chopping down the trees in between there, which means naturally that we will... How long does this take though? The little mandate. It's nearly there. Okay, perfect. So that would mean I'm not exactly sure what else we can trade with them. Let's have a look see. So trading Northbury will be a level 2 then. What does it mean? Does it allow them to purchase more from us? Now that is the question. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's the first time I'm playing this game. But I've never really played it this seriously, if you can call it that. Alrighty, beautiful. We got ourselves a level 2 trade route with them now. Let's have a look, see what do they do. Oh yeah, okay, cool. That just means they can purchase more from us. That is absolutely wonderful, actually. That is wonderful. I love that. That is great. Now, we got ourselves our little hidden treasure back here. So it's a little brewery and tavern. So let's see. I'm not exactly sure how quickly they produce, but we'll see how that goes. Now I'm thinking maybe in the upcoming episodes we are going to start decorating things. Maybe add that little thing that we require. What is it? No, not the market. The housing density. Yeah, that's the one. So maybe we'll start working on that one in the very near future. So for now, let's see, what do they need us to have for the market to go up? So that's Kingdom Splendor, Clergy Splendor. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to have a look-see there. So obviously with the trade route that's going better now, I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to wait for the next people. I think that is going to really give our income a boost, which means we can get ourselves some extra territories. Now let's see. So obviously you can't do much at the moment, but what I would like to just try out and see how this works is if we go over here and we start adding a few little things. So we have a food stall over here. Like so. It requires a tool to actually get that done. That is weird. That is, in my opinion, a little unnecessarily expensive to do that. But I mean, sure. Over here we can have a few little... That's a little bit too far from that one, obviously. Let's just do that. We'll apply that, and then we can do the same with this one. We'll just decorate a few of them, and let's see how it ends up the way, if it ends up the way we want it to. Okay, so that wasn't too difficult, to be quite honest. That got it up quite quickly, to to be quite honest. Right, but I just got started. Now I need to stop. Why would I? Let's see here. So we can have... Let's give this one over here a nice little terracotta bench at the back. Yeah, something like that should do absolute wonders. And then we could have a few more barrels for this one. Let's just do one little barrel over here. And we can do another set of barrels over this side. Good. I kind of like this. It's actually quite nice. Alright, very well. We got the mountain of food, apparently. A mountain of food, they say. A big to differ, but sure. So now they're walking a whole bunch of weird little paths through this. So that is going to... Wood not delivered. Oh, shucks. Sorry. My apologies. I didn't have enough wood. Okay, well, everything is looking pretty done at the moment. So let's just see here if we could actually... Can we sell that? Pretty certain you could. Well, I think you can only sell this... Yeah, you can only sell that in the tavern itself. Which is perfectly fine. I am liking this. This is quite a lot of fun. Alright, let's go ahead and purchase this one over here. Now, what are we going to do with this area? We definitely need more housing. So I'm going to stretch it out to say about over there. I'm also a little bit tired of having to buy the tools. So I see there's an iron mine on this side, or iron vein, I suppose, over there, and one over there. So we might want to do that. Now, they are having a little bit complaints here about not having access to servers, which naturally means the church. Let's just build another church somewhere. I think maybe right over here could be a good spot. Services, one. I'm not going to make it a big one. It's going to be a small one. So rustic. I'm going to place it right around over here somewhere. With a little bell tower right there at the back. Just want to keep it blue. Do we have a humble gate? Yes, that is perfect. And then I would like to add a rustic cross on there with one or two little decorations as well. Little tree over there, a brazier over here. That should do more than enough. Just got to get ourselves an extra little priest going in there. Alrighty, now personally I think that would suffice for extra wood over there. That's a big piece right over there. Let's see how the little church is doing. I guess we're just waiting for the door. There we go, lovely. So weekly attendance of 24. I mean, that is obviously what we can fit in there, but that is perfectly fine, I think. Yeah, no, this is looking pretty good. So I could add a little mandate situation over here. So let's go have a look see over there. Where is this one? So it's just like right over there. Okay, so it's this one right here. And then, okay, so this, alrighty, that makes sense. So it's just these little parts. Which actually would mean once I'm done with the mandate, I believe that we can actually, what do you call it? Add mines, that's the word I'm looking for. Alright, now what we want to do over here is actually, let's see, so we want to add another treasury. Well, we don't have one, but let's just add one. I'm thinking a pretty good spot we can do that is right over here at the back. So we are going to select this, we're going to build, and then I would like to add a treasury at the back over here. That one should do the trick. Yes, indeed. Let's just rotate it like so. That is decent. I'm loving it. And apply. So that is going to increase it, I think, with another, what was it, 150, I think? Two extra little workers would be good. Alrighty, so the last thing we're going to do here before we end this episode is we are going to host a little berry fair. So we just need to keep our villagers' happiness above 75, which at the moment is not too difficult to do, to be quite honest. So I'm quite happy with that. We'll just keep that going. So that is pretty decent. Now that we have two little churches and we have a nice little farm over here, we'll be moving this one somewhere else soon. But for now, that is beautiful and great. And I think maybe in the next episode, we'll start adding a little bit of decorations around and about to make it look a bit better. So on that note, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you enjoy these videos, feel free to leave a thumbs up, like, and subscribe with the Crunchy Captain to become part of the Crunchy community. But once again, you absolute legends, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.